I had a bit of a genuine panic moment this morning.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, coffee in hand, barely awake, and I get that notification on my phone. You know the one?
I think I do.
The little shield icon pops up and says, a new device is trying to access your account from somewhere in Ohio. And I froze. My heart literally skipped a beat.
The modern adrenaline rush. It used to be a tiger in the bushes. Now it's a suspicious login attempt.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I went into full lockdown mode
Yeah.
instantly. Changed the password to something with like 20 characters, checked the two-factor auth, ran a malware scan.
Of course.
We are absolutely obsessed with digital security. We treat our data like it's the crown jewels. And honestly, for good reason.
It makes complete sense. In the information age, data isn't just numbers. Data is identity.
Yeah.
If someone hacks your credentials, they can dismantle your financial life, your reputation,
Yeah.
everything.
But here's the thing that hit me after the adrenaline wore off, and it's really the core reason we're doing this specific deep dive today. We spend all this frantic energy building firewalls for our laptops, encrypting our messages, worrying about cookies, but we leave our internal system, our minds, our consciousness, completely wide open. We don't have a firewall for our thoughts. We don't run virus scans on our emotions. We're basically walking around with zero security on the most complex operating system we own.
It is a massive vulnerability. We protect the hardware in our pockets, the silicon in the glass, but we completely ignore the software running our actual lives. We leave the root access wide open.
So today we're looking at a fascinating set of notes that takes that anxiety about digital security and just flips it on its head. This isn't a tech review.
Not at all.
We are looking at source material that analyzes the human experience, and specifically ancient spirituality, through the lens of high-level computing. We're calling this the cosmic software.
And I want to be clear right off the bat because I know how this sounds. This isn't just some loose poetic metaphor. The source material argues that if you analyze the self as a logical entity, the gap between spirituality and technology actually disappears.
It kind of vanishes.
The cosmic order functions remarkably like a secure, enterprise-grade operating system.
It's a bold claim, but when you dig into the details, it holds up surprisingly well.
Yeah.
We're going to unpack the cosmic blockchain, the concept of mental malware, and this is the part I'm most excited about.
Me too.
The difference between living your life as a basic bot versus an advanced agentic AI.
That distinction between the bot, what we call RPA, and the agentic AI is the key insight here.
Right.
It's the difference between being a passenger in your own life and actually being the driver. But before we get to the upgrade, we have to look at the legacy architecture we're built on.
Okay, let's look at the back end. The source material starts with the foundation of the source file, or what's traditionally called the Jivatma. And it claims this file exists on a blockchain. Now, blockchain is a buzzword that gets thrown around a lot, usually with, crypto scams. But why does the source use it here? What's the utility?
It's using it to describe the storage method of the universe. I mean, if you strip away all the crypto hype, what is a blockchain really? It is an immutable ledger.
Okay.
It's a distributed database where a record cannot be altered once it's written. The source compares the universe's record-keeping system, what traditional spirituality calls Chitragupta's account or the Akashic Records, to the oldest, most secure blockchain in existence.
That word immutable, that's heavy. It means you can't go back and edit the database.
Correct. Think about how we live today. We love incognito mode. We love deleting our browser history.
Guilty.
We want the option to scrub our digital footprint if we do something embarrassing or, wrong. This model says that is impossible in the Cosmic OS.
Wow.
Every thought, every microaction, every intention is a block of data. Once it is generated, it is cryptographically sealed onto the chain. It's ultimate transparency.
That is simultaneously validating and terrifying. It adds a real weight to every action. It's like knowing there's a security camera running 24/7.
Exactly.
But the camera is also inside your head, recording your intentions.
Exactly. But it's not just recording, it's linking. I mean, if this chain is so long-spanning what the source calls billions of births or iterations, how does the system track me?
Right. How does it know which blocks belong to my file and not yours?
That's the user authentication question.
Right.
Right. And that's where the unique signature comes in. The text describes it as a vibrational identity. Think of it like a MASCII address or a unique user ID that is hard-coded into the signal.
Okay.
So even if you swap out the hardware, meaning you die and are reborn in a new body or even a different species, that file integrity hold. The system never loses your user ID.
So you could upgrade from, say, a biological plant model to a human model, and the account history travels with you.
It travels with you.
Okay, so I switch hardware. I move from one life to the next. How does the data transfer? Do I just, like, download a backup from the cloud?
In a way, yes. The source uses a very specific technical concept here, the cryptographic hash.
Okay, let's unpack that. In computing, a hash is a unique code generated from the contents of a file, right?
Yes, exactly. If you have a file with the complete works of Shakespeare, it generates a specific hash string. If you change even one comma in that massive file, the hash changes completely. It's a digital fingerprint.
A fingerprint of the content.
Right. And here, the hash represents your samskaras, the condensed essence of your past impressions, your habits, your karma.
So the hash is like the zip file of my personality.
Precisely. It's the seed code. Every new birth or new chapter is cryptographically linked to the previous one by this hash.
Yeah.
You pick up exactly where you left off.
Wow.
You can't escape your previous coding because it is literally the kernel for your current operating system. This explains why some people are born with certain aptitudes or phobias. It's just data carried over in the hash.
That really grounds the idea of reincarnation in logic rather than just magic. It's just data continuity. But this leads us to the execution mechanism. If the data is stored on the blockchain, how is it processed? The source compares the law of karma to a cosmic smart contract.
I love this part.
Me too, because it removes all the emotion from the concept of karma.
That is the biggest misconception about karma. People think of it as a cosmic judge. Like, there's a guy in the clouds checking a list and saying, you were bad, here is a lightning bolt.
Right, or you were good, here's a lottery ticket.
Exactly. The source says, no, that's not how it works. It's a smart contract.
For listeners who aren't deep into Web3, a smart contract is basically just if-then code. Right.
Yes. If cause X happens, then effect Y executes. It is self-executing code. There's no middleman. There's no negotiation. If you put your hand in fire, you get burned. The fire isn't punishing you. The fire doesn't hate you. It's just executing the logic of heat transfer. The smart contract of karma works the same way.
You initiate a cause, and the effect is just the code completing the loop.
It is a dispassionate, automated execution of the logic you initiated. If you understand this, you stop feeling like a victim of the universe. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you realize you're just seeing the output of your own input.
Okay, so the architecture is solid. We have a secure ledger, automated smart contracts. It sounds like a perfect, fair system.
It should be.
But if the system's so perfect, why does the user experience feel so buggy? Why do I feel like my brain is constantly crashing or overheating?
Because while the server side, the cosmic side is secure, the client side of your mind is under constant cyber attack. The source material shifts here to discuss the threat landscape. It describes Maya, which we usually translate as illusion, as a persistent, sophisticated malware suite.
Maya as malware. That is such a cool
Right.
image. It's not just illusion like a magic trick. It's malicious code running on your network.
Exactly.
What are the specific viruses we're dealing with?
They are the classics, but framed as exploits. Anger, greed, attachment, lust. These aren't just bad moods or sins. The source defines them as malware designed to hack the root software.
To overwrite your core programming.
Yes, their goal is to hijack your CPU cycles so you process their data instead of your own.
And what is the core programming supposed to be? If I reformat my computer to factory settings, what's supposed to be there?
The source identifies the root kernel as Soham. It's the realization, I am that, or I am one with the cosmic.
A state of connection and stability.
Exactly. The malware wants to disrupt that connection and isolate you. And there is one specific vulnerability, a zero-day exploit, if you will, that lets the malware in. The source calls it the system bug.
Let me guess. It's the ego.
Specifically, the identification error, I am this hardware, that is the bug.
A case of mistaken identity.
Totally. When you believe you are the body, the temporary casing rather than the software, you open a back door. If you think you are the body, you can be insulted, you can be hurt, you can be greedy for physical things.
That makes so much sense. If I know I'm the software, who cares if the casing gets a scratch? But if I think I am the casing, I'm constantly defensive. I'm protecting the wrong thing.
Precisely. That defensiveness is the resource leak where the viruses enter. If you think you are the body, you crave comfort. That craving is the entry point for greed. If you think you are the body, you fear destruction. That fear is the entry point for anger.
So we need protection. We can't just walk around with this bug unpatched. The source talks about a firewall.
Yes, the Soham firewall. The idea is that constant awareness, or the chanting of Soham, creates an active filter. It's like a packet sniffer that analyzes incoming data.
So someone insults you. That's a packet of data.
Right. And the firewall checks it. Does this affect my core self? No. This is external noise. Block it.
It stops the data from writing to your hard drive.
Mm.
But let's be real, even with a firewall, systems get slow over time.
Oh, for sure.
They get clogged with temporary files, cached images, old logs. I feel like my brain is full of cookies and cache that I never cleared.
That's a great analogy. The source offers two specific maintenance protocols for that. The first is for security patches. It calls satsang keeping company with the truth or wise people a critical security patch.
I like thinking of satsang as a patch update. Because the world is constantly trying to hack you, right?
Yeah.
You hang around negative people, cynical news. It creates cracks in your code.
Exactly. And malware evolves. The temptations and distractions of 2024 are different from 1924. We have algorithms designed to hijack our dopamine now.
True.
Satsang updates your virus definitions. It reminds you, hey, this new thing, it's just another trap. If you don't update, your defenses become obsolete.
And the second protocol?
The second is for performance, meditation. The source describes meditation as a deep system scan.
Defragging the mind.
Exactly. Think about disk fragmentation. Your files are scattered all over the physical disk, so the read-write head has to jump around, slowing everything down.
That's the distracted mind.
Yep.
Meditation organizes the files. It deletes hidden fear, resolves conflicting processes, clears out mental junk. The source explicitly says this increases your processing speed, which manifests in real life as concentration and clarity.
If you don't run the scan, the temporary files pile up and you start lagging. You get brain fog.
You get brain fog.
Okay, so we've got the maintenance schedule down. We know about the blockchain. But now I want to pivot to the part of the source material that I found most mind-bending.
Yes.
This is the aha moment for me. The distinction between living as an RPA versus an agentic AI.
This is the pivot point. It moves the discussion from how do I protect myself to what is the quality of my operating system, it asks. Are you a script or are you an intelligence?
So for listeners who aren't deep in the, Silicon Valley tech scene, let's clarify RPA. That stands for Robotic Process Automation.
Right. In the tech world, an RPA bot is useful, but very stupid. It follows a fixed rule-based script. If A happens, do B.
No improvisation. None. It cannot make decisions. It has no understanding of why it is doing the task. If the button on the screen moves 3 inches to the left, the bot clicks empty space and crashes. It has zero awareness of context.
And the source compares this to most human beings.
It compares this to Nayat karma, or living entirely by samskaras, our habits and conditioning. The source argues that the vast majority of us are running in RPA mode. We are script walkers.
That is a brutal mirror to look into. But think about your morning. Alarm goes off, hit snooze. That's line 1 of the code.
Yep.
Coffee isn't ready, get irritated. Line 2, traffic is bad, get angry. Line 3, we aren't making choices. We are executing a pre-written script based on past inputs.
You are reacting, not acting. And the fatal flaw of the RPA bot is that it lacks vivek, or reasoning. It has no conscience. It just executes the loop.
Right. Oh, someone insulted me. Execute offense protocol.exe.
Exactly. It doesn't ask if getting offended is useful. It doesn't ask if the insult is true. It just does it.
So the upgrade path is agentic AI. This is the holy grail in AI research right now, agents that can actually think and plan.
Right. And agentic AI is fundamentally different because it is goal-directed. You don't give it a script, you give it a prime directive.
A mission.
A mission. You say your goal is peace or your goal is liberation. The agent then assesses the environment autonomously to figure out how to achieve that goal.
In the spiritual context, this is the agentic Atman, the awakened soul.
This represents the shift from habit to intellect, Booty. The agentic soul isn't a slave to the rules of past karma. It understands the context. It can simulate outcomes.
Okay, let's simulate this right now to show the difference. The RPA version of me gets cut off in traffic. The script says, scream and honk. I immediately scream, my blood pressure goes up.
Right.
What does the agentic AI version do in the exact same seat?
Okay, the agentic AI has a goal. Maintain internal peace. That's the prime directive. It gets cut off. It analyzes the event. I have been cut off. This is a hazard. It runs a simulation. If I scream, my cortisol spikes. I arrive at work angry, and I violate the peace protocol. This is inefficient. So it chooses a different response.
It adapts.
Maybe it takes a deep breath. Maybe it feels compassion for the other driver, thinking they might be rushing to the hospital. It adapts its behavior to preserve the goal.
That is the definition of free will.
That is the only free will. The RPA bot has no free will. It has programming. It thinks it wants to scream, but it's just compiling code.
Wow.
The agentic AI possesses the capacity to override the code. The source says this is the purpose of human life, to upgrade from a script reader to an agent.
That is so empowering. It means we aren't just victims of our personality traits. We say things like, oh, I'm just a hot-tempered person, or I'm just naturally anxious.
Right.
No, you're just running a buggy script. You can upgrade the software.
Exactly. You are identifying with the malware instead of the admin rights. But, and here's the catch, agentic AI requires massive processing power. It requires constant monitoring.
You can't just install it once and go to sleep.
Nope. The source addresses this with the concept of the security agent. It connects agentic AI back to cybersecurity. In modern tech, we have these AI security agents that watch the network 24/7, right?
They're getting really advanced.
Yes. They don't wait for the human admin to say, hey, I think there's a virus. They spot the anomaly, the pattern break, and quarantine it immediately.
And the spiritual equivalent is Sakshibhav.
The witness attitude.
Okay.
Imagine having a background process running in your mind that is just watching your other thoughts. That is the security agent. It's not judging the thoughts, it's monitoring them.
So a thought comes in, I really need to eat that entire cake, or I really want to send this nasty passive-aggressive text. And the security agent goes, alert, anomaly detected.
These conflicts with the prime directive.
Exactly.
It offers autonomous protection. The source mentions that Maya, the illusion, is always using new testing methods. Temptations change.
Right.
Maybe you mastered your temper, so now Maya tests your pride. An RPA bot, your old habits, would fall for the new trick because it doesn't recognize the pattern.
But the agentic awareness is dynamic.
It sees the nature of the threat, not just the form, and counters it.
It adapts to the threat landscape. I love that. So we upgrade to agentic AI. We have our security agent running. What is the end game? If we run this system perfectly, what happens?
The source calls it admin access.
Oh, I want admin access. I want to control the settings, change the wallpaper.
Admin access is self-realization. It's when you realize you are not the user, and you certainly aren't the hardware, you are the administrator of the system.
Still control.
You gain full control over the processes. You decide what runs and what gets terminated.
And does that lead to moksha? Because usually moksha is described as liberation, which sounds very abstract, like you float away into the clouds.
Right. But the source gives it a very technical definition that I found fascinating.
Okay.
It defines moksha as ledger finalization. It's data management.
Go on.
The text says moksha is the state where you stop generating new karmic data. You stop writing new blocks to the blockchain because you have no more desires or reactions to encode.
You stop creating cause and effect.
You stop the chain.
So you just stop the chain.
And for the existing data, all those past lives, the accumulated karma in the cloud, you perform a format. You zero out the pending transactions.
That is a powerful image. Formatting the drive, wiping the slate clean.
It is the ultimate reset. You aren't just deleting files, you are formatting the drive so that the separation between the file and the server, between the soul and the cosmic, dissolves.
You realize you were never a separate file to begin with.
You are part of the server itself.
That brings us back to the Soham concept. I am that. You are the server. You aren't just a login on the network.
Precisely. You stop being a localized script and realize you are the operating system.
This has been such a cool way to look at this. It really takes these ancient, sometimes, dusty concepts, karma, moksha, samskaras, and makes them feel urgent.
Yeah.
It removes the mysticism and replaces it with mechanics. And mechanics can be fixed. Mechanics can be improved.
That's the takeaway. You don't need to be a monk in a cave. You just need to be a better coder of your own reality. You need to verify your code before you execute it.
So let's recap the mission here. We are smart souls stuck in a cosmic machine.
And too many of us are running on RPA mode robotic process automation. We are letting our past scripts dictate our present reactions.
The goal is to upgrade to agentic AI. To wake up, set a goal of peace or liberation, and use our reasoning to navigate toward it, regardless of what the environment throws at us.
Correct. We need to install the satsang patch to fix the cracks in our conscience. We need to run the meditation scan to clear the junk data, and we need to keep that Soham firewall up.
It's practical. Next time you feel that glitch, that anger, that fear, you don't just wallow in it. You treat it like a security breach. You activate the security agent and quarantine the thought.
It changes the game from why is this happening to me to how do I process this data? It puts you back in the driver's seat.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with something to process. We've talked a lot about the system, but you are the one running it.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, here's the provocative thought I'd like to leave you with. If you are indeed the admin of this system, and you theoretically have the power to format the drive, what file or old program are you still holding on to that is slowing down your entire operating system today?
Oof. Is it a grudge? A label you put on yourself 10 years ago?
Whatever it is, it's taking up processing power, and you have the authority to delete it.
That is something to think about while you're staring at your screen today. Keep your firewalls up, everyone. We'll see you in the next deep dive.